Hello, everyone. How are we doing today? Welcome back to another episode of the KimUnity Soulutions podcast, the only podcast that turns workplace challenges into real-world, everyday solutions. It is so good to be with you all today, another week. Welcome to all of my new listeners. Welcome. It is so good for you to be joining with me today. It feels great. Today, I'm going to be talking about chaos, how chaos creates collaboration. Can you relate to that? No one enjoys chaos. No one welcomes it, and definitely no one expects it, right? But it happens, and it's something that we have to be able to understand when it does come, that it's not for our detriment. It's really about bringing about new creation. And I know maybe when you're listening to this, depending on what you're going through, you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it. And chaos can impact us in so many different ways. Now, let me give you the definition for it. The Cambridge Dictionary describes chaos as complete disorder and confusion. Complete disorder and confusion. Is that you right now? Have you been through that? Are you just now coming out of that? If so, then you can relate to this. Or if not, then this will prepare you for when it does come. Then you'll understand, okay, this is a different way, a different perspective of how to handle it, how to look at it. Because I can pick up anything right now and show it to you. I can tell you any kind of story right now, and you can see the negative aspect of it. But it's very important for us to sometimes look at the other side of that. Okay, yes, this happened on this end, but what happened in the long run? How did it change you? How did it, make you think differently? How did it benefit you? And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Chaos creates collaboration. While painful, while unexpected, while unplanned, while uncomfortable. Just recently, we had a car breakdown, and this is, depending on what you're going through, this is like not the ultimate of chaos, correct? But definitely, we had a car breakdown, and mind you, this car, my children share. So, God's been real good. He's been working it out for, oh my gosh, maybe 3 or 4 years, to where they both can get to work. They both are going, taking classes. They're in college. And this car, and mind you, it's an older car, right? It's an older car. It was I don't think I want to tell you what kind of car it was. But I'll just say this. This car was bought right before we moved to Texas from California. So this was 2007, I want to say. We bought it in 2007. My kids were so young. They were like 1 and 3 at the time, somewhere around there. But this car has lasted us all the way up until their college days. So that right there is a gift in itself. And not to mention, they were able to, share it, go to different schools, go to different jobs. And sometimes they had the same job. But it broke down. It broke down. And while it was chaotic because I didn't want them driving my car, and we didn't have another one for them to drive in that was drivable. So I had bought another car. It was a hybrid, and it's been sitting in the driveway. It hadn't worked in years. Like when we bought it, it was barely working. It needed some work. It's a hybrid. I thought it needed a battery. And let me tell you how this all worked out. So of course, now that their car is a no-go, we had to get a AAA to come and bring it back to the house. This car was sitting in the driveway, right? And I had did some research, and I'm looking at, okay, well, I found a company that can replace hybrid batteries. Let me check them out. And mind you, I called them years ago. And they said they can bring somebody out. They said there would be like a $350 to $500 fee or something like that. But they can replace the battery right there in our driveway. But my concern was, I'm not a mechanic. What if it wasn't the battery? So I was planning on having the car towed up to where they are, right? It's about 45 minutes away. And then for them to tell me what's wrong with the car. But I didn't. So instead, I took the opportunity for them to come to me to tell me what's wrong with it. They were going to do a diagnostic test. In the meantime, the kids are driving my car. And now I'm stranded. Okay. Now I'm stranded. Or they're waking up early and they're taking their dad's car and going to class before he goes to work. So it was chaos. It really was chaos in trying to make sure that everyone was still able to make it to their appointments and maintain their daily schedule. And it did become a little difficult at some point because some people did have to take lifts. Even I had to take a lift, to get home, or the children had to take a lift to go to work, and then I would come and get them. So it was a little chaotic. And our city does not have public transportation. Not sure if I wanted them to do that, but we don't have public transportation. So I ended up having the mechanic come out, and they did a diagnostic test, and it was not the battery. It was not the battery. It was something else. He said it was the inverter. So I'm like, okay, great. He was like, yeah, it's going to be, a third of what you were expecting to pay. I'm like, yes, this is great news. So I called back the main person who I've been speaking to, and he was like, okay, well, let me look into it. I haven't received a sales order yet, but let me, look to see how much the price is, since this gentleman said it's going to be cheaper. And so he goes back. He was like, no, not for your year, unfortunately. If it was the years prior to your car, then it would only be $350 or something to that effect. But because of your year, it's going to be about $2,000. And yes, that's a big amount, but that's pretty much the same amount of what I was expecting to pay for the battery. So I'm like, okay, go ahead and put the order in. I'll go ahead because we need a car. I didn't want to pay for a whole other car. We could just get this car up and running, right? So he scheduled it, and then he called me back. He was like, let me reach out and see if we can give you any kind of discount, because you already had somebody come out and service it, and I don't want you to pay that service again. So I'm like, okay, thank you very much. So then he emails me, and then he calls me back and was like, guess what? Your inverter, the part that is wrong with the car, is under warranty. It's under warranty. All you need to do is take it to the dealership and they will replace the battery. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. So of course, that's what I did. I definitely need to go and give them a review, because that was excellent customer service. He could have just, charged me and replaced it and not even told me. But that's good business, right? So I do appreciate that, and we'll be leaving them a very, very good review. But that chaos creates collaboration. While that wasn't the height of chaos, it may not be what you're going through. It was chaotic for us because we were less a car. And everyone was still trying to, maintain their responsibilities. And that's what happens with chaos, is that it's unexpected and it messes up your routine. It messes up your it affects your mental well-being, your emotional well-being, your stability, your reliability, right? And then you have to depend on others. We really had to depend on each other. We couldn't just jump in the car and go. We had to figure out, okay, well, what's your schedule today? What time do you need to be there? Okay, what's your schedule? What time do you need to be there? What time do you get off? And so as that's what I'm going through, there's someone that I know that also was recently let go. They were laid off from their job. That is something that is so devastating and hurtful and unplanned, because you think that you're secure depending on what your role is, right? In whatever organization you're working in. We think that, even though that's not really true, nothing is really secure, right? But it was heartbreaking for me because I knew that she was helping her family with her resources. And of course, this is not the time to say, oh, well, this is great news for you because it's going to bring about some positive change. No, that's not. Right now is not, it's not the time. But what I am saying is that when chaos does occur, it creates collaboration. There were devastating fires in California, and what I saw was people coming together, people providing resources. What is it that you've been through that you can think back on that made some area of your life or you better? When one of your teammates loses their job, is the rest of the team maybe coming together to give them some kind of care package or give them something to help them out? What happens when that person leaves that team? It's not like that work disappears, right? That work is still there. It's got to be spread around. I have an episode that's called Laid On, and that's about the impact of those that are let go. The people that are still there are laid on with all of this extra work. And of course, you can't do it in the same, or you shouldn't be able to do it in the same amount of hours. So sometimes you have to stay late and do it. Are you taking it home? Are you combining tasks? Are you finding ways to eliminate certain aspects of it to streamline it? That chaos brings about process improvement. That chaos brings about teamwork. Now you have to collaborate with other people on your team. You are sharing resources. If you know anyone that is going through anything, how are you helping them? How are you extending that helping hand? That's the part that I want to talk about. I'm not talking really right now to those who are going through it. I'm talking to the people who know of people that are going through it. What are you doing to help soften that burden? What is it that they need that you know you can help provide? There are many people, I know you're watching the news, there are many people getting let go. There are, and they don't know what to do. There are also people hiring or need help, or this may bring about your gift that you have been holding off because your job's been taking up all your time. What is it that you're not doing anymore, but now you can allocate that time to something else that you love, that you enjoy doing, that you're great at? Maybe that also helps others. This is our time to be creative, all of us. If you are new to this podcast, my podcast is all about solutions with souls in mind. It's about being mutually beneficial. It's about sharing resources and understanding and being mindful of what others are going through. And lending that hand and understanding that we all have different lived and unlived experiences. And treating people how you want to be treated. How would you want to be treated? What if that was you in those shoes? That's what it's all about. Chaos comes about, I should say. It comes about when we run out of our own resources. When we come to a dead end and now we are looking for a solution. If you are at that dead end, know that someone is around you to help you. Someone or an idea will come to you. I'm not saying that you will always be rescued, but I'm saying there's always a resource. It may not come from somebody else, but it can come from you. And that also means that we have to be vulnerable and tell people what we need. When you're in chaos, you can't really hold that to yourself because no one around you knows you're in need. So you have to become vulnerable. You have to let others around you, especially the ones that you know care and would help you and do for you, give you and it's not always monetary, but give you a thought, give you an idea, connect you with someone. I just received a text today, and I'm thankful for the connection of just someone just reaching out saying, hey, you may be interested in this. When's the last time you've done that? Who are you working with? Who have you helped? Who have you guided? Who have you shared your resource? Are you withholding information? Because what happens is when you withhold that information, it will later be withheld from you. Treat people how you want to be treated. This is the only message that I had for today, because I know everyone is so tuned into their TVs and to their phones, and they're tapped into negative energy, negative news. And now is the time to collaborate. Now is the time to work together. Now is the time to really evaluate where you are going to for your fuel and for your own resources. Where are you shopping? Who are you giving your money to? Because if we all came together, we all make the life in the world that we want to create, regardless of what others are doing around us. So I just wanted you all to think about that. It was something that crossed my mind. It's something that I was going through. And whether it's the car situation or something major, whether it's health scares and people have to call off work because they're going through this ailment. It happens. It's chaotic. But it also pulls people around you that can help you in some way. And it may not be all the help you need, but at least that help will get you to the next step, to where someone else can help you. It will not always come from the people who you expect it to come from. Please know that. And please don't be upset when someone is unable to help you. That just means that they are not your assignment. You don't want, if they can't help you and are not willing to, you don't want that. I've never wanted anyone to help me that didn't really have it in their heart. I honestly didn't. It feels different. Depending on the circumstance, I don't know. But it just feels different. So this isn't going to be a long episode. I'm just reflecting and wanted to share something that I was going through as normal, because I am Kim, the SME, the speaker of my experiences. And so I'm just telling you what I went through and how, it hit me that yes, chaos does create collaboration. It's not always just about the painful side of it. It's not always about that negative aspect that we see. There's something on the other side of that we can make it. We can do without. We can create workarounds. There are other solutions. And so just think about that. Think about, what are your other options? If you're the one that's going through it, what are your other options? And if you're not going through it, how can you lend a helping hand? Because of all the people that are getting let go right now, let's be realistic. Of all the people that's being let go right now, you have to know one of them. You have to know of one of them. You have to know of a family that's being impacted. And for those of you that's going through, again, I really suggest that you be vulnerable. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm telling you that they say closed mouths don't get fed. But you also have to make people around you aware of what you're going through. And I know it's personal, and I know you don't want to share your information, and it's a sensitive subject, but there are people around you that can help you. Now is the time to collaborate. Now is the time to share resources. Now is the time to share information. Now is the time to share time and love and a helping hand. I am your host, Kim the SME. As always, it is a pleasure speaking with you all and sharing my experiences and relating it to the workplace as well as to the world. You all be blessed. And until next time, I will see you then. Peace, peace.